Episode of the Original Sports Podcast with Mark Maradei and my Barbershop crew. Coach Noobs and Rasheen are here to join me tonight. Look, let me put this to you straight. The NFL season, it never ends. We know that. It goes into hibernation for a few weeks, but it's year-round, right? We know that. We're going to continue to visit current happenings, but it's time we start turning our attention to things like basketball, at least college basketball, some NHL action, and spring training. Baseball used to be known as America's game, but not so much anymore, right, men? We will move around the court, diamond, course, and rink as needed as we edge closer to the conclusion of Season 4 of the OSP. We'll be off for like 3 weeks, and then we're coming back stronger than ever. Don't fret, though. We will be gearing up for our best season yet when we get back in Season 5. Guys, our mailbag is full tonight. So in the words of Steve from Blues Clues, mail time. So let's get after this a little bit. Hey, our first question is from the Chief from Oakmont, PA. He says, with the end of the Crosby era, Penguins Stanley Cup runs a distant past and no real hope in sight on that front, and hockey never breaking out of its fourth, whatever that means, or if you
fourth
count
spot in sports,
soccer, fifth most popular sport status. Any chance Pittsburgh moves on from hockey after Crosby and tries again for an NBA franchise? What do you guys think?
No.
Any chance?
No.
when you say move on from it, what's that mean?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, basketball will never pass hockey in Pittsburgh. That's for sure.
No.
We used to have some teams in Pittsburgh. They weren't NBA, they were ABA. We had the Pipers, the Condors. Let me see, who else? I think that was it.
The Lion Pipers?
The Pittsburgh Pipers, and I think Connie Hawkins played for one of them teams.
Hey, who was that team Dr. J was on in Pittsburgh?
That was the Pisces. That was a movie.
Oh, yeah. I know that was a movie.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Moses Guthrie? Was that his name? I forget. I think that was his name.
So here's what I heard about it, though. This is what I heard. I heard this out in Philly this past weekend, by the way. I was out there for a hockey tournament. My kids' team won championship, 14 UA. We're a bunch of rec players playing 14 UA hockey and winning games. So that's pretty cool. But I heard it from somebody out there that the city of Pittsburgh spent $80,000 to do a survey type thing to see if basketball could fly in Pittsburgh.
Yep, I seen that. Yeah.
When was that survey done?
I think it
Recently.
started.
Yeah.
Either it just started or it's going to start soon. But yes, I seen it when I was up there. Yes.
So it's going to be interesting to see what that turns up. I doubt it. I really doubt it. I mean,
for the NBA guys, they like to go out and party. There ain't a lot of that in Pittsburgh. 5-star hotels, there's only one. So that means you'll be staying with your opponent. Maybe your opponent's on the 5th and you're on the 4th, but you'll be staying with your opponent. So yeah, I don't see it happening. Downtown sucks. I mean, there's nothing downtown Pittsburgh. I mean,
you kind of got to get outside of the city.
Yes.
Go to the Strip. Go over to the South Side, up in that area. Yep, I agree. So, Chief, I'm not feeling it. Rasheen's not feeling it.
Nope. Can't touch it.
Yeah. Hey, March 2024. This is a great question. This is a non-sports related question coming from our RT who lives in College Park. Okay. RT, you know who that is, right, Noobs?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So March 2024 is going to be 4 years since the start of the pandemic. What are the biggest changes in our everyday life you've noticed since then, good and bad?
My underwear.
Wow.
Oh,
I thought that was a pretty good question.
Less traffic because a lot of people are now working remotely.
Yeah.
this podcast. What the heck? Number one.
I think that what I noticed in school, several negatives. The masks, kids still wear masks. I still see teachers wearing masks. Like I don't know. But
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but what the hell are you wearing a mask for? If you're sick, okay. But I see some kids wear them all the time. Then they'll take it off for certain places in the building and put it right back on.
But it impedes communication. You know, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So that's an issue. There's kids with social anxiety that never had any kind of issues prior to this, that, you know, it caused some major issues for a ton of kids. It also, the biggest thing, Mark, you can speak to this probably more than me because I'm in a weight room, you're in a classroom.
Yeah.
But when I sub for people in classrooms, kids don't talk.
No,
You
never.
used to sub for somebody and it was kind of crazy. Like kids would be like, bouncing off the walls, throwing shit everywhere. And now it's like you could hear a freaking pin drop.
Hey,
But
Mike.
they're on their phones more, right? Ain't that what
Well,
it
they
is?
are on their phones a lot, but I'll tell you that, like, I have board games and stuff in my room, and I tell them, like, I do every once in a while, I do a makeup day because they get so far behind. They don't do the work when you give them time to do it, which is unbelievable to me. But when I do my makeup day, I'll either send a progress report home to the parents, or I'll print a progress report out, or, you know, like I will sit down at my desk, or I'll make them open their computer up to see what they're missing. And I tell them, if you're done with everything, if you're all caught up, and I can see that you're all caught up, I have all these board games in my room. I don't want to see your phone out. I want you to do something constructive where you have to verbally communicate with somebody. They won't do it. They won't do it. They'll open their computer up and put their phone in front of them. You know, it's amazing. I have my first period class, I have kids that talk. My first period, which is usually out of the sorts. But second, 2, 3, 4, and 5, they don't talk at all.
Good or bad, AI. I think that's really elevated and it's taken off to new measures, especially in the classroom and out. But we're seeing a lot of impact with AI. What do you guys think about that? Chat GPT and whatnot. Positive, negative thoughts?
Well, it doesn't help you squat more, so it doesn't really affect me in the weight room.
Oh yeah.
Well, will it replace teachers at some point?
Good
No.
question. They replaced the people at the toll booth on the turnpike.
Chat GPT did?
No, them computers.
Yeah.
They're just taking a picture of your license and sending
Scanner.
it.
Hey, that Mikey McDermott lost his job, buddy.
Hey, put a QR code. Kids sign in the classroom, put a picture of me up on the screen, teach a lesson. I don't know.
What happens when they start slapping each other, all kinds of stuff? Come on, the shenanigans. You can't.
Some robot's going to come in and grab him by the shirt and lift him up and hold him up.
Yeah.
Yes, because you
Till
can't
mom
sue,
and her lawyer come in.
you can't sue a robot.
I don't know. The other thing, I'll tell you what, the mental health piece, going back to that, the mental health piece, along with the mask. I mean, part of the mask thing is because of the mental health piece. Kids don't want to show their faces, and they still don't want to show their faces, a lot of them. You know, it's that teenage thing. But, you know, like we've taken mental health to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
A whole nother level.
I know the suicide rates have gone up since the pandemic, but I'm not sure what the numbers look like. But I know for us personally, we've had quite a few at Northwest.
Yep.
Like disturbing, very disturbing. It's heartbreaking. But I blame the politicians and everybody that shut everything down. That, you know, it was exciting for them. It was exciting for them to control everything and shut things down. It was frustrating to be a part of that.
Mike, you literally talk about that suicide rating. My room is always an open door. It's always propped open. Kids come in and hang out in my room all the time. And I, 2 years ago, it was 2 years ago, I had a bunch of kids that I knew. They'd come in, and there were a couple kids I didn't know well. But one day I kept my room locked, and I had to go do something. And that afternoon, one of the kids who normally would come to my room went at lunchtime and hung himself.
Right near the school.
Yeah, in the woods.
On the way to the Giant, yeah.
Yep, in the woods. So, you know, the mental health was just shot. But, hey, we can't control everything that goes on. We can only do what we can do. So, hey, next question.
Next.
This is a pretty good one. This comes from Camel Joe from Maine, our elf guy. Remember our elf guy, Christmas?
Yeah, good dude.
He's a runner. And he said, I just watched the women and men's Milrose games, track and field. Humans are running faster. It's crazy. What will the Olympics in 2024 bring out on setting world records? And then he ends it with fucking amazing. So what do you think?
Well, I know that the one lady just had a baby and she ran and broke the record. I forget what her name was. Oh my I mean, if she's doing that, I mean, you can imagine what the people, I guess, without the babies are going to do.
Yeah.
Man.
Some of the track and field records have been there for so long that it's hard to imagine them getting broken. But
Yeah.
it could be like one of those things with like the 4-minute mile. Like once that was broken, then there was another one, then there was another one, then there was another one. So there's a mental aspect to it. Like
TJ Kelly, another one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be this Olympic is in France. I was looking at stadium up, and while every seat may be covered, it's not a complete dome. The weather going to have any impact on it? Is it normally outside? Is it sometimes inside?
Track's outside.
No,
Outside
not
all
track
time,
and
brother.
field.
Okay.
Track and
Why
field
is it something bad weather-wise in France at that time?
Oh hell, it'll be hot as hell.
Yeah.
I was in France last year or 2 years ago in July. It was scorching hot.
We don't
Hottest
run in the
summer.
heat. Is that what you're saying, Sizzle?
I didn't know if that would
Oh,
Hey,
have
Mark.
an impact.
I heard something on the news that made me laugh. I thought of you. The Eiffel Tower workers are on strike.
They should be.
They want more money.
They should fire them all.
You can't go up. You can't even get close to it.
oh, Champs-Elysees.
Those people, yeah. We'll just
Those
leave it
people.
there. I have a whole nother story about them. So
I mean, breaking records. I don't know. Usain Bolt. You gonna break
No.
that record?
somebody told me there was a young lady who was swimming from Canada that recently broke Katie Ledecky's records.
What's she
Whoa.
do wrong?
Broke. Not just like, okay, she broke a record. No, like busted
Shattered.
that shit. Yeah, shattered it. Yeah. So just think about that piece of it. Like, what the hell? I want to see somebody break what's his name's records, the dude from Baltimore.
Michael Phelps.
I don't know.
That ain't gonna happen.
You know what I don't think will happen?
Pretty good.
100 meters. If somebody can beat what's his name,
Bolt's 100 meter.
that would be unbelievable.
So I'm Florence Griffith Joyner, man. It goes back to 1988. Like the dates on these times are pretty impressive. Like they're all in the 90s, 80s, and 90s.
So was it harder to catch people?
That's like seeing your flag there, Gaithersburg. I was like, who's this old guy?
Right?
So was it easier to catch people using stuff back then or now?
I would think it was
Ben Johnson.
there was a time when they got away with more, I think.
Back
Previously. Yeah.
then? Okay.
That's funny you should say that. I have a girl in my classroom. She's from Romania. Real nice kid. She's been here a couple years, speaks perfect English, lives with her brother here. Her parents still live there. And, I talk to all the kids. I try to get to know them personally. And she and I were talking one day, and I said, who's the most famous Romanian? And she pulls up a picture of the president. And I said, come on, there's got to be somebody more famous than that. And she's thinking.
Bubka.
I said, Nadia Comaneci. And she said, oh, yeah, definitely. Remember Nadia Comaneci?
No.
Yeah. What? No? She was badass, man.
No,
She
I
could
only
do
know
it.
Alfredo Fettuccine.
That's
I know
good stuff,
Sergey.
too. With
I know
chicken?
Sergey Bubka. That's who I know. He was a pole vaulter.
Yeah, I remember that dude. Yeah. Hey, the
What?
NWOC from Clarion, the NWOC. You got to read through it. He says the current state of college football is not sustainable. What changes need to happen to save college football,
Caps.
but still provide the players with the compensation they deserve?
Caps.
Listen to that guy right there. He's got it.
Caps, brother.
Yep.
I mean, I'm be honest with you. I even like that for NFL guys. I think you pay them something during the year, but if you play good, you get more money. If you stink, you don't get that
Incentive.
much more money. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's crazy. Like that's it. Like I need a return on my money.
It's like teachers. We got incentive-based salaries, right?
We do.
I didn't know that.
No.
Oh, I'm about to say.
Yeah. I do think professional athletes should have incentive-based salaries. So I agree with you there.
To some
And those-
extent, but what if everyone around you sucks? Like what if you're played wide
And you
receiver
should
for the
stand out.
Steelers?
What? Okay. How about this? Why should TJ Watt not make the most money as a defensive player in the league, or be one of the highest paid players with 19 sacks? And
But he's not an MVP caliber.
He is one of the highest paid players, isn't he?
Listen, we're not doing this. Let's keep going. He's beating the right tackle. I'm not impressed. Keep going.
Rasheed.
Yeah, he's beating the right tackle. Yo.
I threw it out there.
Beating the right tackle 1-on-1.
I'm gonna try and get TJ on the show.
Name a couple right tackles. Go ahead. Name 5.
Robert Jones.
Hey, let's. I can't even name who the hell is the Commanders guy. Reno. Oh, no.
John Runyon.
Now you just named anybody. Now stop.
John Runyon.
Steinbach from Michigan.
So we're gonna go with Steinkuhler from Nebraska too.
He was a left guard. All right.
Hey, look, let's talk about fixing it though. I like Rasheed's 100%. There needs to be a cap so that the Alabamas of the world can't just outspend everybody.
Yeah, right.
And within that, if they did a cap, then it would be limited per player. Like you couldn't, like one player shouldn't make 10 million.
Right.
Right. Like these guys going to USC. Like, is this like Dr. Dre and them? Are they the ones giving this money? Jimmy Iovine?
I mean, they don't even have to be alumni to shove money in their pockets.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, if they're fans.
With the current state of it, my question within the question is what will happen if nothing changes? It not be sustainable. Why couldn't this be sustainable?
Well, one of the biggest problems is who the hell's going to want to coach at any of the smaller schools, and then who the hell's going to want to play there? Like it's going to be so drastically different between the haves and the have-nots.
So it's like MLB. It's like Major League Baseball then.
And even in the vice versa, noobs, who's going to want to coach the guy just getting paid $10 million? Because you can't tell him nothing. What can you tell me?
Right.
But if you're getting
just
paid,
wave you off.
If you're getting paid as well, I don't know. I mean,
that's what I'm
But this is the problem. All these guys are going to try and go to the NFL. A lot of these coaches don't want to deal with this dumb shit. Look at the head coach from Boston College. Went into the NFL. He left as the head coach of Boston College.
Tight end coach.
Didn't get fired.
He's a tight end coach.
I thought he was
tight end. What'd you think?
Halfley? Was it Halfley?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's a tight end coach. I'm not.
Wow.
I remember reading it, but it was nothing like. It wasn't like a coordinator or something.
Right.
He's just a position coach. Well, not just a position, but he's a position coach. And I'll bet you they matched him financially.
Probably.
I'm sure easily.
But why deal with all these headaches? Why deal with all this stuff?
I agree.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What's ridiculous is when you have players in college being compensated. Yes, I agree to some degree, but making way more than first, second, third year players in the pros.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Michael has a question for us, but Michael, we're going to get to that question. And thanks for joining us, by the way, tonight. I love how you come on every week. I really appreciate it. The new UFL, we are going to get to that question. In fact, the boys and I are going to go to a UFL game here in DC, the DC Defenders, the defending champs. We're going to do a show out in front of the stadium. We just haven't picked.
What's up?
Who's the defending champ?
The Defenders.
No,
I thought they lost.
They lost in the championship.
Yes.
Oh shit!
So we're going to need help. Listen,
Thank you.
Everyone listening tonight, we're going to need help. Come out to support the Beer Snake.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun, guys. We need to lock that date down because it's coming up in about a month or so.
Yeah. What's their head coach? Barlow, right? Barlow?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Steven?
I like their head coach. I like the whole organization. They're good. They're going to be fun to go see and fun to root for.
And
all right, hey, look, we got to finish this college question.
All right.
What else do we do besides a cap? What else do we need to do? Is it currently sustainable?
One of the other things you need to do, I think, is you got to cut off that transfer portal.
I just saw ESPN.
Because if you can pick up a transfer because they offer you more money.
Yes.
I have a limit.
The president of the NCAA just said he's not entertaining that.
So maybe they have a limit on the portal. Like you can only transfer twice or something like that.
Right. But he said while there are more transferring now in sports, it's not any more than what it was in years past. It's not any more with student athletes transferring than just regular students. It's actually less.
Yeah,
I
but
believe
to go back on what Noob said, there's probably more guys transferring because now Sizzle's offering me more money. I'm going with Sizzle.
Heck yeah.
right. You
And-
don't got to sit out. Remember
Right.
when you had to sit out and you
Here's-
couldn't play as soon as you got there.
Maybe
Now,
that should be what it is. Are they willing to pay you while you're sitting out that year and then coming in and pay and keep paying you?
So
And then it's impacting bowl games like crazy.
right. And the other problem that no one talks about is what about the kid? What about the kid who's been there for 2 or 3 years? He's struggling to get in the starting lineup or not quite doing, and they're like, see you later, you got to enter the portal. Good luck. What about those kids?
Hey, do you have to bid for one of those bowl games?
Why are you trying to have a bowl game?
I imagine
No.
you do.
No, the reason why I ask is say, okay, who was it? Georgia and Florida State this year? And
Yeah.
2 teams are going. They had 50, 60 guys who didn't play.
Yeah.
Portal, injuries, just sat out, whatever. And I don't know I can't remember what bowl they're in. And they say, you know what? I don't want those 2 teams. I'm going to go after 2 other teams who I know people are going to watch and bring some money to me. I wonder if it's going to start getting that point and say pulling that contract out from underneath those teams because they don't got their top tier. Same reason why NBA ain't going to happen in Pittsburgh. People aren't going to want to go because they don't have the top guys.
All right. I have another question to contemplate with college football. So what if they got rid of conferences and who said this? Which coach was talking about this? Just have one big conference and that's it, and have the NCAA oversee it all. And then the other, they talked about maybe separating NCAA football from actual NCAA. So it's a separate entity, not even part of college.
Right.
You'd almost have to do that with basketball too, because although it doesn't make as much money as football because it's not hyped like football based off of the NFL promoting it from that standpoint. You'd have to think about that with basketball. But Mike, you couldn't do that because they just announced today. I mean, you could, but they just announced today the format for the 12 teams for the playoffs next year.
Yeah.
The winners of each of the 5 conferences, I believe it was, are the top 5 teams, and then the next seven best teams based on the ranking of the panel.
Right.
Which that's fine. That's a good way to do it. And that's not something I think they could do overnight. Obviously, those conferences have all kinds of contracts and things like that, TV contracts and all that. So I don't know when it would have to go into effect, but it's something down the road that probably should be looked at because I think it makes a hell of a lot of sense. And then regionally, you wouldn't have somebody in the Big Ten, Penn State, flying out to California. And it's not really a big a deal in football because it's on the weekend. You're not really missing many classes. But if I'm playing baseball or, basketball and we got to fly out to California and then we're playing a game and then we got to fly up to Oregon. And then, come on, it gets ridiculous. They're out for all, it's too much. Like, I don't even know how you would keep up with your classes, and they can talk about tutors and stuff. But if you're not there, you're not really learning. It's difficult.
Yeah. I'm not sure who this is, but they're all about what you said, Noobs. And they say the money is grotesque. Yeah. It's insane to me why a college football player is making more money than me as a teacher, but that's a whole nother ball of wax. Hey, let's move on. This question right here comes from Tony Fig. He's a Philly fanatic, all right? With the Phillies agreeing to a 1-year deal with right-hander Spencer Turnbull as part of their efforts to deepen their starting pitching roster, because that's what really got them beat up in the World Series, and considering ongoing discussions with Zach Wheeler's contract extensions, how do these moves reflect the team's strategy to bolster their pitching staff? Also, the departure of Rhys Haskins, who was the first baseman, over to the Brewers, it's expected to have on the team's dynamics. Who's going to be filling in for him? So what do you think about? Go ahead.
Well, I think the staff is still intact, right? I mean, the 5 guys they rolled out last year. Right?
No. Well,
It's
not
Wheeler, Nola, Suarez, Walker, and Sanchez.
They did give Nola a fat contract this year. He got a fat contract.
From what I've read, it's projected to be one of the best in the league. So, I mean, I'm lost on it. Kind of, maybe I read it wrong or I'm not understanding this.
I think at the end of the day, you need depth. because pitchers always get hurt.
Yeah.
throughout
Yeah,
the-
yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah. I agree with that.
So
So
to
they
answer-
got a 5-man rotation. That's depth in right there.
Say
But
that again.
That
Sis?
Wheeler's nothing special. He's 13-6 with a 3.61 ERA.
Well, he used to be special. Yeah, he was part of that Noah Syndergaard and those guys who pitched for
Trying to pick up
the Mets.
Turnbull. I don't know if that's an addition. I mean, he didn't play much of last year. He was hurt a lot.
Right, but he could help Turnbull, the pitcher you're talking.
Yeah.
He could be the sixth. He could be that sixth pitcher, the sixth.
Or he could be a
Pitcher.
setup man to
I don't-
start and then
Where do you guys think the Phillies rank payroll wise?
rotation. What's that?
Where do
They
you
got
guys
to be a
think the
top
Phillies?
5.
I didn't hear him. What did he say?
Where
He
do you
said
think
where
the
the-
Phillies rank payroll wise? What do you think? Where do you think
Oh,
they
yeah,
rank
yeah,
this
yeah.
year?
They're top
It's-
5.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yep, number 4.
Yeah,
It's the
easily.
Yankees, Mets, then the Astros, then the Phillies.
Which blows my mind away. Like they're above the Dodgers. Who's
Listen-
number
Yeah, they
5?
are.
The Dodgers?
Dodgers are number 8.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes
Even more.
Yankees, Mets, Astros, Phillies, Blue Jays, then the Braves. I can't believe Toronto's that high.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
shelled out a
listen,
ton of money.
Wheeler and Nola have only missed 8 games in between them. In the last, it says 4 straight seasons combined. They only missed 7 starts in the last 4 seasons.
That's longevity right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know where they really need that? They need that depth when it comes to playoff time, because you only pitch 3 guys in the playoffs.
hmm
That's all you pitch, and then your other strong starters come in as long relief.
Right,
if
right.
it's an important out and you don't want to bring in a closer, that's where you go to one of those guys. In terms of first base, I mean, I shared this with you guys already. I think what the Phillies ought to do, and what they probably will entertain, because I've heard this already, is moving Bryce Harper to first base. You
Yeah.
know, he
Played some last year. He played
yeah,
good.
he gets hurt quite a bit, and he DHs a lot. So they really will, lengthen his career by doing that, and they're paying him a shit ton of money still.
I'm wondering how close that window is to closing. They went 22, lost the World Series last year, lost in the NL Championship, and they're knocking on the door again this year with what Sheen said, with an all-star starting lineup, possibly with the pitchers, but there's concerns. Can they make it to the big dance again and close the deal this time? Pitching definitely has the upper hand once you get deep into the playoffs.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's all about when guys get hurt during the season. If you have the guys at the farm club to come up, replace them, and not miss too much from your stars that go down. Noob, who were the bottom 5? I'm curious.
Well, you know who you know one of them.
The A's, the Pirates, the
Yep.
Royals.
Indians.
Ace. So actually, the Royals are up there.
Oh,
It
wow.
goes 30th is the Athletics with 45 million.
Buccos.
That's crazy. Pirates are 67. The Marlins are third last with 81.
They got a hell of a pitching staff too, believe it or not. No,
They must
not
be
the
young.
Mar. I'm sorry, I'm talking about the Mariners. I'm sorry, I'm confused.
The Guardians, and then the Reds. Locally, our Nationals are 23rd in spending, and just ahead of them is the Orioles.
The Reds? Wow. Well, the
That's
Reds got a lot of
crazy.
young talent, right? Right.
Yeah, say-
Mark,
Same as the Orioles. The Orioles are loaded with young talent.
young talent.
And there's guys they can't even bring up this year because there's nowhere to put them yet. Seriously,
a
like
good
they are
thing.
loaded.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't make a pitch to get Ohtani out here. I'm shocked, because they could have gave up 4 or 5 guys off their minor league system. Top
Baltimore?
shelf. Huh?
Yeah, but
Baltimore?
he's
No,
a West Coast
he
guy,
wanted
though,
to
isn't
stay
he? I
West
don't know. He might not have agreed to that.
I think he
Well-
wants to stay West Coast.
Well, he did want to stay West Coast. He wanted
He's
to be
just
comfortable.
he's just saying that the Reds are so deep that they could have just plucked 4 guys. They got so much talent.
No, I'm saying Baltimore.
I mean
saying
Baltimore, not the Reds.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
Baltimore.
Yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
Reds are pretty deep too now. Reds got a lot of young talent too now.
So do the Pirates.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So do the Pirates. They just waste it.
Yeah.
They waste it. Yeah. Anyway, I hope we answered your question there, Tony Figs. If someone offered you, here's another good question. If someone offered you, and this is from Double J from down south, if someone offered you $10,000 to streak across the field during the next sporting event you attend, would you do it? If not, then what would it take for you to do it?
Pause. Now,
So-
when you say it didn't say streak with your clothes off. He didn't say you had to take your clothes off. He just said streak. When I think of streak,
I thought he said nude.
he said
Streak means take all your clothes off,
Yeah,
Terry.
streak means take all your
I
clothes
thought you
off
meant
and run.
streak like you had to go fast. And I was like,
No.
Coach, I ain't going fast because I'm not fast.
No, you got to take your clothes off like the dream.
Oh shit!
Hey, if Chops was here, he'd tell
This
you
became a nightmare.
He'd say, "Hey fellas, wait a minute. I'm gonna keep it 100 right here."
Vandergrift lore has it. We had a guy. He didn't. I don't think he streaked. He didn't take his clothes off, but he was as fast as hell. And he was at I forget what Super
New
Bowl.
Orleans.
He stole the ball, and legend has it he still had it. God rest his soul. We can't get him on to confirm. Maybe someone out there in Vandergrift land or whatever. Donnie Traster. Back in the day, he was like the mayor of Vandergrift without having the responsibilities.
Yep.
Everybody loved the guy.
Everybody knew Trey.
But no, I would not do it because I'm not paying to get out of jail.
Is it tax free?
I don't want to go to jail. No.
Well, the next event I'll probably attend will be like Mark's bocce ball tournament, so that would be really bad. I get arrested and fired.
Oh shit! No, we'll be going to that Defenders game.
Oh.
The Pirates reportedly turned down a 1-year, $750,000 offer to Trevor Bauer. Woo! Because they're the Pirates, Brian. Brian, they're the Pirates.
They wanted too much.
I mean, when you start talking about Pittsburgh sports, the Pirates shouldn't be included. That's the bottom line.
Oh man!
I mean, they shouldn't be. It's been abysmal for years. It's been abysmal for years. Noobs, you guys are kind of going through that. You went through it with the Commanders. You're kind of going through it with the Nats right now, but they are rebuilding. They've got some young talent, and their new owner is going to shell some cash out.
New owners for the Orioles.
Yeah, but you're getting a new owner in DC too.
Hey, did you see?
They said the learners pulled it off the market.
Changed his
Oh,
mind.
did they?
Yeah.
So they got rid of all that talent. They gutted the team, and they said, we want to give them a skeleton crew so they can build their own. And now they just, oh Jesus!
That was yesterday or 2 days ago, I believe.
Yeah, you just pulled it back.
That. Yeah.
Awful.
And did you see the Vegas mayor said, "Stay in Oakland. They don't want the A's."
Yeah.
Oh, what?
That's the last thing I saw.
Wow.
I'm going to the internet right now.
Check it out. Fact check me.
Hey, the guy who actually streaked at the Super Bowl, he put $50,000 down on a prop bet that somebody would streak at the Super Bowl to win $275,000. So he did it.
And he wasn't fully naked. He had a pink tutu or some crap on. And it was funny how the was it on NBC or I forget what channel it was on. They wouldn't even show it.
No.
And they hurried up and told Romo to shut up. Oh, there's someone.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I mean, like, by the time he paid his court fees and everything, he probably walked away with $200,000, right? Maybe more.
That seems illegal. That doesn't seem okay to do.
No.
They have to start putting a clause in there. Like it can't be you or anyone you know.
It's not you.
Yeah.
Hey, let's move on. If Mike Tomlin were a coach, this is a great question. This comes from James from New Orleans. If Mike Tomlin were a coach with any other franchise, how long do you think he would have lasted before being fired, if at all? Given he would have had the exact same success performance he's had in Pittsburgh. So all those years of being mediocre Mike, making the playoffs and not winning the six straight now that they've lost in the first round. How long do you think he would have lasted?
You would have to go team by team for this. I mean,
it depends on the franchise.
Some teams aren't stable, so he might have got 2-3 years. Some like us, we've only had 3 coaches since I've been alive. I'm 50 this year.
Yep.
So I mean, it depends on the organization. I mean,
he'd have been fired a long time ago in Cleveland.
Redskins. What about the Skins, Noobs?
Was Snyder as the owner?
Oh, there you go. See.
Yeah. He would have left. He would have wanted to hang out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not that many teams that I don't even know if New England would have hung on to him. I don't think many teams would have hung on to him, guys.
Listen, Harbaugh has a very similar track record as Tomlin, and they're keeping with him for 16 years.
My thing is always who are you
Why don't we
bringing
hear the
in
buzz
next?
about Harbaugh? Why don't we hear that buzz about Harbaugh?
All I'm saying, I always say, who do you have to replace this person before we had this talk? That's all I want to know.
Is it because we got 6 and they got 2? Is that
I think
we have higher expectations?
I will say this with Harbaugh. He seems to bring in better coordinators and a better coaching staff. Like he seems to be surrounded by better coaches.
Oh, but you know what it also says? The Rooney Rule.
Okay.
That might be part of it. We can't go around pounding our chest talking about you need to look at these guys if we didn't get rid of this guy.
Hey, did we talk about the fact that if you hire a coordinator, a black coordinator, or a black coordinator, or a black man from your team gets hired as a coordinator somewhere else, that you get an extra draft pick? Did you know that?
No. San Francisco's been killing that.
San Francisco has 3 extra draft picks.
What?
When did those picks show up?
That's I don't know, but that Chase Young trade was one of those picks.
Yep.
End of the 3rd round.
Oh,
he's not a coach.
Wow.
Yep. No, it's not about Chase Young. It's about the pick itself.
Yeah, that's
the pick itself. Because D'Amico Ryans went down to Houston and coached.
Wow.
And they yeah. Who else they lose?
You can get a really good starter in the 3rd round.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can find a Pro Bowler if you get lucky.
Yeah. Yep. I just thought that was pretty interesting. And guys, I know you'd have to go team by team. I hear what you're saying, Sheen, but I don't think very many teams would hang around for 16, 17 years with the guy if he's just going 500 and losing playoff first round. I sent you guys a fact about him. The last 5 playoff games that the Steelers were in, they've given up 30 points each time. 30 points. Yet we have Terrell Austin in Pittsburgh still calling the defense.
I like Shannon Sharp, what he said. He said that everyone's saying Mike T hasn't lost. It doesn't have a losing season. He said it's not about not having a losing season. It's about winning, and he hasn't won.
Yeah.
And the patience that we have for that is quite interesting. I don't know how long he would last elsewhere.
If he was my coach, he'd have been gone a while ago. Not because I don't appreciate what he's done, just because I be paying
you don't appreciate what he hasn't done.
Well, that's it. I be paying my guy to win championships. That's all.
Well, not only that, going back to what Noob says, picking good coaches.
Yeah.
Like that Frisman dude, I don't know where the hell he got that guy.
I'll tell you where he got him.
But Frisman got another job too. That's what I'm saying. He did.
Hey, you hit that on the head months ago when you talked about how it's just a good old boy network.
If you got a friend, you got a job in NFL. Always.
Yeah.
They'll make something up for you, man. Like,
Frisman came from a 30th ranked offense in Carolina. Him and Pat Myers were fired. And the Steelers 2 months later had them on their coaching staff.
And I don't even think it's you having a friend. I think it's a friend of a friend. Sometimes I'm sure, because I don't see the Frisman and Tomlin connection. Was there something that I didn't see?
No, it was Canada.
Oh, okay.
Canada influenced Mike to bring in 2 guys that knew his system. I don't know what the system was. Let me just say that, but that's what it was.
Jet motion, manipulate the secondary, and we'll call it off of that. The guy kills me. Canada. Hey, real quick, since we're talking about the Steelers, we got to talk about Chad Ochocinco made a comment. Did you guys hear what he said?
What'd he say?
He said a little birdie told him Russell Wilson is coming to Pittsburgh. Thoughts?
No.
Your faces. You're not excited. What's up?
I don't want Justin Fields. I don't want Russell Wilson. I don't want Jimmy Garoppolo.
Okay. All right, here. Let's. I mean, I didn't want to go down this road tonight. I wanted to say this, but my thing is this: things that have to be done. If they're going to draft a quarterback, it's going to have to be what round? 2nd?
They're probably not going to.
You got to see how it all plays out.
That's what I'm saying. If you draft back, if you move back, get another 2nd, then you can pick a quarterback. But if not, If not, you got to bring someone in for the 1 year, the bumper, and then go and get somebody because, Russell Wilson.
I don't want that dude.
Nah.
I don't want him.
I mean, they never. Chop said we never get that splash player, and why would we want him where he's?
And that's another thing. Any free agent they sign this year has to be a free agent that was good. Like, don't be bringing in, he played swing tackle in guard and center for this team. Like,
for the
he has to
Jets.
be established. He got to be established like a defensive lineman. They got to bring at least one of those guys in. You can't bring in 7 decent guys.
Well, every quarterback that has been linked to the Steelers, odds-on favorite, has a flaw. You start with Fields. This is the last year in his contract. You're going to have to pay him. Okay? If he doesn't do good, yeah. If you traded for him, he doesn't do good, you can let him walk. But what are you going to give up? What at the cost of what? Let's start there.
A third and
I don't
Johnson.
know. I don't know if they'll take a third. I don't know. Okay.
Give you Johnson.
They won't.
I don't know.
I'm giving you an established veteran presence for your new rookie quarterback. Boom.
Okay.
A third.
If you pick up Russell Wilson is under a heavy contract in Denver. Denver would have to cut him, and he'd have to sign for a really, really low. You saying league minimum? Yeah. He's getting like $40 million from Denver. He could play for free if he wanted to.
Yeah. He was not going to want to.
No. Then I heard, they're Jimmy Garoppolo. Here's a guy that now they're no. Why would you want him? Why would you want him?
I can see Tannehill because Tannehill can tutor Pickett. But
that's
here's
what
my
I've been
question.
saying.
Here's my question, though. Name something that Pickett can do better than Fields.
Probably nothing. Probably nothing, Rasheen, honestly. But Fields is not going to go to a team that already has a guy that he has to compete with for the starting job. Fields wants to go to an organization where he is going to be named the starter upon trade. Oh. And if I was Fields, honestly, I'd ask for a new contract before I even got there. I'd want that guarantee because I wouldn't want to bounce to Atlanta, have a great year, and have to go somewhere else the next year. You know what I mean? Like, I just wouldn't. That would be me.
He unfollowed the Bears. Did you see that on Instagram?
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. The Bears are really they're taking their own life in their own hands again by going after Caleb Williams. I'm not a Caleb Williams fan. I've made that very clear.
You might not be too. You don't know that. You don't know that they're going Caleb Williams.
True. That's true, Mike. You're absolutely right.
I'm hearing a lot of people like Drake May first.
Yep. He's pro ready.
Yes.
He's pro ready. I agree. So, we'll see what happened. I sent you guys that nice little clip, though, about I thought it was good, a good clip when Mahomes was drafted. All those guys were like, no way. That's shit. No way. I'm like, okay. It proves it down the road. So maybe Caleb Williams will make me dirt. I don't know. But I think when Pat Mahomes was drafted, he wasn't jumping up into the stands crying to his mom after he lost a regular season game. He wasn't going home and hugging his puppy and telling everybody about it. Like, I think there's a maturity issue there. I don't think he was wearing I know he wasn't wearing a dress. I just see a maturity issue with Caleb Williams. That's all. He could be the greatest athlete in the world, but if you're not mentally mature going to the NFL, they're going to eat you up. You know that, and I know that. So, hey, let's move on here. Throughout the period of time you've been interested in professional and or college sports, what sports have you become more interested in, and what sport or sports have you lost some interest in, and why? This comes from Top Cat in Phillipsburg, PA. Woo!
Can I start with ones I'm less interested in?
Yeah.
I used to be a huge college basketball fan. And that was because you could watch a team develop and you got to see the same guys year after year after year in the same jersey.
Yeah.
Like and when I was in college, I got to see Duke, the North Carolina in the 90s. Like those teams were legendary, and you got to see the same players, Bobby Hurley playing every single year, like those guys. And you don't have that now. And to me, there's not the same cohesiveness that they used to have. It's not the same game. It's still exciting, fun to watch, but it's just not the same. You don't get to watch guys develop and watch teams develop.
What is it? One year and out?
Hold on. Noobs, did you get to see Tim Duncan or Ray Childress?
Yeah, they were both. Yeah, Randolph Childress, same year as me, and Tim Duncan was a sophomore when I was a senior. So I got to see him his first 2 years, and then watched him on TV. Tim Duncan, they were both nice guys. Randolph was a little more uppity a little bit, but Tim Duncan was a really nice guy. You could hang out and chill. And
you could tell by the lack of haircuts. His haircut was never nice.
Yeah. You know who was the star though back then was Rodney Rogers.
Oh, yeah, I remember that dude.
He was really good. I think. Super sad
Clippers.
story. Yeah, in the Clippers, he was sixth man of the year 1 year. Really, really good player. Played well in the NBA, and then he was riding a four-wheeler and flipped off his four-wheeler and was paralyzed. He's paralyzed now.
Wow.
Awful. So he was a really nice guy too, but he was a little wild in college, and there was definitely money getting slid his way prior to NIL.
Pre-NIL? Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he got paid pretty well. Yeah.
Hey, do you think that, and this relates to Tim Duncan, would you think that that those teams he and David Robinson played down in San Antonio, probably some of the most underrated teams ever in the history of the NBA?
Yeah, because they never get mentioned with the greatest teams.
Never.
Yeah. You always,
Never.
until you just said it, I forget all about it.
Yeah.
How many did they win?
4, didn't they? I think they won 4, 2 with Robinson and 2 with Duncan.
Yeah, I think it was 4.
Yeah, and they were very close together.
Yeah.
I can tell you my sport that I became interested in, and that's because I moved down here to Maryland, lacrosse.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I wish I could have played lacrosse in high school. Like, I didn't even know I'm trying to think. I probably really didn't know what lacrosse was until I moved to Maryland.
Me too.
Because I never had seen it, never heard of it, never seen it.
That's definitely my most interested one. I'm more interested in, mainly because my son plays, and then going to other games, watching it, paying attention. We went to see the Whip Snakes, or now they're the Maryland Whip Snakes, but we went to a playoff game down at Audi Stadium where the Defenders play, and it is a fun sport. And I agree with you, Shane. I wish it was around. I don't know if I would have dropped the bat and ball if I would have not played baseball, but I probably would have entertained it for a little bit.
In terms of me, I'd say I was never like huge NBA guy, but I did follow it pretty closely.
Yeah.
Until I came down here.
Yep.
And then I think part of it's because I don't know who these guys are getting drafted. They're coming from other places. So I don't have familiarity with them. Going back to what Noob says in terms of college players, I knew dudes coming out of college because they were around a long time and you could see the progression. I don't know the NBA anymore. Like, I don't know these guys.
It's not even that for me with the NBA. I hate the NBA because they're like dribbling around in circles. Everybody shoots the 3 ball. I like to feed it to Shaq and watch him dunk on people.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Those days are long gone.
I don't remember the last NBA game I watched.
What you just mentioned there is a big factor why a lot of people don't follow baseball. They have a hard time with that connecting factor.
Yeah.
Not knowing who these players are.
Yeah.
And coming from all over the place and not seeing them gradually progress from, I've heard about them in high school, and then I see them playing in college and making it to the next level. There's no connection. How do you do that?
Well, with baseball too, I think I have a mental disconnect to a certain degree. I still watch it. Don't get me wrong. I love baseball, but I can't connect with the money they get for playing baseball. I just can't. It's unreal for me. Like, say, Ohtani getting $700 million to play baseball. That's just unreal to me. Like, I cannot connect with that. That's not real life to me. That man's living in a different world than me. The other sport, which I guess is more of an entertainment type of sport, but wrestling, WWE, I used to watch that a shit ton. And as they start having more promotions for all these other leagues, I stopped watching it. I just lost interest in it.
When you were like 7?
No, when I was like 30-some.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I watched wrestling when there was the NWA, the WWF.
Yeah.
What else was there? Maybe there was one more, I think. But
now there's a shit ton of. Now there's a crap ton of leagues out there, and it's just these guys leave WWE and they go somewhere else, and they
Rashid,
so
who are your top three wrestlers back in the day?
Oh man, the legend Dusty Rhodes, baby. Dusty Rhodes with the elbow. Dusty, man, who else? Let me think. Well, of course, the Hulkster. Hulk Hogan.
Saw him at the Civic Arena.
I mean, I liked a lot. I like the Road Warriors. I liked the Rock and Roll Express. Oh
Yeah.
shoot! I mean,
Road Warriors are awesome.
Don Morocco. I mean, yeah. But then I found out it was fake. Snuka.
Jimmy Snuka coming off
Jimmy
the top rope.
Superfly.
Yeah.
You going back like Rocky Johnson?
Oh yeah.
Bruno San Martino.
I don't go that far back. Sorry.
Ah,
I
Maradei,
forgot. You don't like old
three?
guys.
Maradei.
Too old for
What?
you.
Who's your three, Maradei?
well, I more not necessarily. Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Bryan, absolutely. Love Stone Cold Steve Austin. Love The Rock. The Rock, his his persona. If you go back farther though, Bruno San Martino was legit.
What's his name? Kamala.
Yeah,
I love
Kamala.
Yeah.
King Kong
Abdullah
Bundy.
the Butcher.
Yeah.
King Kong Bundy, Andre Giant.
Hey, when
Yeah.
I was in high school, we had a
Harley Race.
fundraiser. Check this out. We did a fundraiser, and we brought in professional wrestling. SD
Wow.
Jones was there. Like, we met all these dudes. They had
delivery.
they had vertically challenged wrestling as prelims, and then they brought in some of the big dogs.
Wow.
I got to meet a bunch of those guys. It was so fun, man. It was so fun. I was like 16. And
Terry, who were the guys when you grew up, Terry?
It's got to be the Hulkster and Ric Flair and Andre the Giant.
Ooh, that was a good one. That's a good pull.
My dad took me to Capitol Center. I remember Andre the Giant walking by me and just being like, what the hell? Like, Hulk Hogan walked by and I was like, okay, that guy's big. But when Andre the Giant walks by, you're like, oh my God, that guy's gigantic. Crazy.
Rick Rude, Lex Luger, Ricky Steamboat. I can go all day, man.
How about Mean Gene Okerlund?
Hell yeah.
Gene.
hey, let's move on a little bit. We got about 20 minutes left, and we got a bunch of questions. Hey, so here's this one. You guys know the movie Animal House, right? You guys all see the movie Animal House. So
Yes.
it's kind of a question. It's a statement that leads to a question. Did you know that the horse in the movie Animal House made more money than John Belushi did? They paid $35,000 for the horse, and Belushi got $30,000. And later they gave Belushi another $5,000 because the movie became a hit. But aside from Belushi, which character do you relate to in the movie Animal House?
Wasn't it just the horse's head?
No.
No.
I'm going with Otis Day.
Oh, yeah.
Shamalama ding dong. Shamalama ding dong. Y'all remember the song? See?
Yeah.
I was only 3 when it came
I'm
out.
kinda like
I've seen it a
Mark
long time
Maradei
ago.
in the
I don't
nights.
You never seen Animal House, Sizzle?
I've seen it, but it's been so long. Like I said, I was only 3 when it came out.
Oh,
I can't. I don't know who. What character you think I'm most like?
Germans
like
bombed Pearl Harbor.
He's the dude who's he's like the president of the fraternity. He's the
Yeah,
the whack
that's-
job president. That's who he reminds me of. Smart, like kind of sarcastic, smart ass guy. How about you, noobs?
Larry Kroger, Pinto.
Yeah, that's it. Larry Kroger.
Pinto. Yep, Pinto.
I have no idea, man. I'm not sure. I missed that one. I mean, I saw the movie. Oh yeah, that's perfect.
Pinto.
Says,
Look at that guy.
I mean, Belushi was awesome.
He was
Yep.
the main protagonist.
Yeah.
I like the dude that was playing the guitar, and Belushi goes by, grabs it, and smashes it, and hands him back the handle. That's one of my favorite parts ever. And then when he climbs up the window to watch the girl change her clothes.
Oh yeah.
Just keep it PG
What the
now.
fight? Now you guys got me wanting to watch that. All right. Check this out. This is pretty good. Thinking about how many walks Greg Maddux gave up that were not intentional. 226 in 25 seasons in Major League Baseball. And how many strikeouts Tony Gwynn had his whole career. He had 440 in 20 years.
4,000. It says 4,000.
That's wrong. It's
Okay, I was about to say,
440. Yeah. Those are unimaginable numbers in today's game. If you could pick to be Maddux or Gwynn and put up those numbers, which would you do? This comes from Bucksy. Box. Down at Buxy's. Yeah, down on 28th Street in Ocean City. Big shout out to him.
Both impressive, both in the hall, both deserving. How how do you pick? What I would do, I'm definitely Gwynn. Maddox only playing once every 5 days. I know you're all about the Benjamins there, but let's put this in perspective. Kyle Schwarber struck out 215 times last year.
Whoa.
Wow.
Last year. That's crazy.
I would pick Tony Gwynn because not only would you be great at baseball, but then you could go beat everybody on the playground in basketball because you're that talented in basketball too.
Multiple sport. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
He was the dude.
Unless Dave Winfield was there.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'd just stay outside if Dave Winfield was there.
Hey, listen, it's amazing that team never won anything, to be honest with you. That was great teams on San Diego.
Like
Right.
Harvey, Winfield.
I'm going with Maddox because
the money.
And we're winning a lot of championships.
Yeah, he won a bunch with Atlanta.
Cy Young Awards. I mean, where's he keeping them things? Jeez.
What are you saying? Which one translates to today's game the best? Mark?
No, just if you could be one of those guys. Yeah. I'd probably go with Gwynn because I love playing the game, and just going out once every 5 days wouldn't be fun for me. But I wouldn't go with Gwynn because he had a short life. God rest his soul. He died. What? It's got to be at least 10 years ago now.
10 years ago, yeah.
Him and Kirby Puckett. So, hey, check this question out. If you could go back and play one sports video game from your childhood, what would it be? This comes from Hayden, the gamer extraordinaire.
Shane, he's the gamer.
Double dribble.
Yeah.
Blades of Steel.
Oh, I love Blades of Steel. That was mine.
Blades of Steel.
Yes.
I think that was the first game that let you have the one-timer, wasn't it?
Yep.
Hey, Brian, I agree with you. NBA Jam.
Yes.
NBA Jam was good stuff.
Is that what they want to say? He's
you got that fire coming out your ass, and you could dunk him from half court. That was cool. But I'm gonna go. I forget the name of it, but I was always FSU during. We were in our dorm. Next door neighbors were pounding on it on the wall, telling us to be quiet. College football back in the 90s. I was always work done. I know Coach Noob loves work done.
I was his boy.
I was always FSU on PlayStation.
Hey, that old school hockey game was amazing. Is that what Blades of Steel?
Blades. Yeah. You know what other one I liked? And Mike got the reliever. I'm gonna call you the reliever, Mike, even though it was what we say his name really was.
Jim Gott.
I like that one with Tyson, knockout.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
that was a good one.
Yeah, but when you figured out the thing about it, it got stupid. Like it was
it took you a while.
You got the cheat code?
Yeah.
You bought that. You probably bought that book.
Did you ever play Contra?
Yes. Up, down, left, right.
All right. Here's one. I don't have a name on it. Are student athletes being prepared realistically for the future?
This is from Robert Y. from Germantown.
Bobby Y. Yeah.
Are they being prepared for the future?
Student athletes or students aren't being prepared for the future. Neither one.
I think I mean, you can talk about the high school or the college level. It's all kind of crazy. When you give someone $10 million to play football and the coach is making $2 million.
I think
let's just say you get hurt and got to work for a company. You're not going to make more than the president.
You're right, Jim. The key word in that question was realistic.
Yeah, I agree with them 100%. These all three had to come from blood. Hey, the second one is segregation being truly addressed, especially with separation in national anthem?
That's a toughie.
Ooh, man.
Rasheed, what are your thoughts on the Black National Anthem?
I don't know it.
Well, I didn't know it either when I heard it. I was like, I think she messed up the national anthem.
Yeah.
I thought she wasn't singing it right, and then they said it. So,
I mean,
I have mixed feelings.
No. I'm going to say, because the national anthem does have a lot of racial undertones to it. So I think maybe we should just create a whole new one for everyone. Like a constitution too. Constitution needs to be made again for everyone.
Oh, that's a big can of worms.
I know. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah. So I think that we should create a whole new one for everyone. One for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, we're supposed to be a melting pot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're supposed to be a melting pot. I would entertain that. They'd have to give us some sort of vote on it, though. Like we'd have to have a vote on it, like we do, like we're supposed to do for president and stuff like that. But I would agree with you, Rasheen. I would be down with that. Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we can get Pharrell to produce it.
Look, we're coming up on 275 years of this country being in existence.
Well,
You know, and we're still a baby compared to other countries. But
yeah.
the last question from Bobby Y from Germantown: are transgender athletes depriving others of their right?
Yes.
Bobby, yes.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
I love Dave. I sent you guys that about Dave Chappelle, what he said about LeBron James, right?
Yeah.
He says, so if he changes his sex, does he stay in the NBA and dominate, or does he just go to the WNBA and score like 800 points a game? Dave Chappelle's a trip.
Come on, man. I mean, it's so ridiculous seeing this stuff happen. Like, I just don't understand how anyone could say this is okay. Like, you have a male body and you're competing against females. Like, they're two different genders. They're two different builds. Like, there's a reason that we have men's and women's sports.
Right. And to add on to that, because you can't, I mean, there's some men who can't even beat other men. So, like, that's crazy.
Hey, I got because I just heard this weekend at wrestling tournaments, people talking about their PE teachers in different counties or whatever, and they got males in female locker room and vice versa. Do you guys experience that?
No.
What do you mean?
What do I mean?
Do we have that?
A male locker room? Oh, you mean now?
You're saying we have females that go into the boys' locker room. We have girls who identify as males in the boys' locker room.
Yes.
Do we have that?
I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
You can't. Okay.
So,
I'm gonna say it. You can't stop them from doing that.
Right.
So
I mean, they need to have a place to go to. I get it.
Hey, Mike Gott wants to know our favorite sports movie because I'm getting out of that conversation.
Thank you.
Favorite sports movie guy?
Downshift.
No, he's saying guys. He's asking us. We're the guys.
Okay.
Downshift, no pun intended.
He's saying guys.
I thought we were getting out of that conversation.
He said, "What's your favorite sports movie?" Go ahead, Sizzle. Favorite
Field
sports movie.
Field of Dreams.
Dreams. New Bazer.
The Program.
Maradei.
Bad News Bears.
Rasheen would say The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. I have a second one though. Slapshot.
Can I say the one I hate the most?
Which one?
Rudy.
Oh, that's a bad movie.
Come on. 160-pound guy's going to play guard for Notre Dame. That's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
The defensive tackles weren't that big back then either.
No. You want to hear the funniest shit ever? I got to tell you about Rudy. We used to watch a movie the night before the game. I'll be quick, Mark. I know we're short on time.
You already told us this story.
Did I tell you?
Yes, you did.
Oh, okay, I did. Yeah, you're right.
You did. Yeah.
It's a hilarious story, though.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was similar to what you said.
Yeah.
Next guy wants to know, should there be more outdoor games? Hockey. Outdoor games.
I would love to experience it, but
yes.
The rink is so far away from the fans. It's not what you're used to seeing when
it's
you go
expensive to go to too.
You go to an arena.
Could they ever do it on a frozen lake up in Canada? Is that you can't do that, huh? Somebody might fall in.
That's called ice fishing. No.
No, but
you
know what they do up there?
Through?
Machine. Mike and I work with a person, a girl, a woman, Holly Klopfer's her name. Her husband goes up there, or at least he used to go up there pre 3 kids. He used to go up there and they have a hockey tournament right on the lake. It's a tournament though. And they have, the lake is frozen over and they have rinks set up all over the place on this lake. Yeah.
Really
it's
cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. All right. I'm going to get through a couple more here. LeBron James could be the first NBA player to play with his son. Do you draft his son next year just to get LeBron and his son together and sell tickets, even though his son is not NBA ready?
Listen,
great for the Wizards.
He's averaging a triple dismal.
You're right. He could play for the Wizards.
He sucks.
Next.
Honestly, I'd rather have Caitlin Clark than his son. So, Olympic flag football. Hey, this is an interesting one. Can anyone compete with the U.S.? Does this transform football like the dream team and grow the sport event even more internationally? Trickle down the high school flag that seems to be coming.
No.
You can get hurt doing that.
I love the idea of girls playing flag football, though. I think it's so awesome to see them doing it, and it gives them buy-in to watch the games on Sunday. Or Saturday for college.
I don't.
Whoa, you sound like Kenny Smith saying that Ivanushka or whatever her name is should have shot from the women's 3-point line. Listen, it's not going to get any push because you're already dumbing it down during a Pro Bowl, and this when you had the dream team, they were playing the actual game. They weren't playing the this is not going to get any traction.
When you say flag football in the Olympics, does that mean like us four can show up to try out? Like, is that what that means?
It's a 12
I think what this person is asking is, if we had NFL players show up and play.
Oh, no, they ain't doing that. Flag football. Let me tell you something. I played flag football probably 5 years ago. It's always an issue when the ball's in the air and there's a guy doing this and like, do you hit him or do you grab his flag? I chose to hit people all the time, so that's going to be ugly. Yeah, that's. I don't think that's going to take off like Sizzle said. I'm with Sizzle.
Gotcha.
I think if you bring regular people in, if you bring like regular guys, like regular, I don't know, college guys who play intramurals. How about that?
Yeah.
What about women?
You can have at that. Go ahead.
Rashid said only white guys can play flag football.
Mike, that program is so big up here in Frederick that they had JV and varsity teams at each of the high schools. The girls' flag football is so big up here in Frederick, they had JV and varsity.
It's awesome.
Real quick fact that I saw about this is flag football got started during World War II when the soldiers were overseas. They brought it back. Fort Meade, Maryland, was said to have hosted the first flag football game in the States.
That's interesting.
It's pretty cool.
Wow. Hey, Curry versus Sabrina. Should they have moved the 3-point line in for her?
No.
I don't think they should have either.
I don't think so.
No. Caitlin Clark shoots
Did they make her shoot a boys' ball?
Same size ball, right?
She used the boys' basketball or girls?
I think she did. I'm not sure. I can't. You know what? Let me go backwards.
That's the question I have. I was wondering about that.
Listen,
I think they used the women's ball for her, but the 3-point line was back. And they're making a big deal about that.
Hey, man, we got to get somebody to go through these questions and cipher them because some of the stuff I don't think is.
All right. Let's move on to the next one. Caitlin Clark, best female college basketball player or best female scorer ever. What do you think?
Yes.
Look up Pearl Moore.
Pearl Moore.
Look up Pearl Moore. Listen, I'm all for Caitlin Clark, and I've actually had this conversation this past weekend. When you're putting it up 40 times a game, like 20 are liable to go in. That's a la Dominique Wilkins. I'm sorry, not Michael. But Michael did it too. I mean, and it's not bad though if you're making most of them. That's fine. But
yeah,
it's like they said. Cheryl Swoop said she'll get to the WNBA and find out that you can't.
So she's fraudulent as a talent.
Is she going to be like Caleb Williams?
I haven't watched her enough. I don't know. I was asking you. I don't know.
Everything's going to get tougher at the next level.
It didn't get tougher for LeBron. It didn't get tougher for Kobe.
There wasn't the next level. He went from high school to pros.
That was the next level. I think for what she is doing in college is excellent. But yeah, I think she's going to be the Jimmer Fredette of the WNBA.
No.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
I hope she keeps scoring right now because I'm selling her cards like crazy. Anyway, Rob,
is she getting some of that money?
No, she ain't getting. She already got her NIL.
You're not part of the NIL conglomerate.
Hell no. I buy I buy the cards that are made by Bowman.
Who the hell?
And if I pull her, I put it up for sale and I sell it at a reasonable price, and people buy it. She's a hot commodity right now.
Who in the hell in Iowa is paying those kids?
I think Juju Watkins should be a hell of a hot commodity too. She's a hell of a player.
It's college, man.
Yeah,
it's college.
Smith wanted us to talk about the waste management.
We already did.
We already did that, Smitty. Wake up. The last one is
Come to our
Join
next
us.
tailgater, and you'll see the Waste Management live.
so the last one is it's about hat tricks in a hockey game. Have you ever seen one live or in person? How about 3 in one game? Minnesota and Vancouver scored 3 hat tricks between the two teams.
Yep.
Have you ever seen one?
A
Yeah.
hat trick live?
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Pittsburgh. You ever heard of Mario Lemieux?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sidney
That's
Crosby.
Let's end this show.
Yeah.
First of all, I never threw my hat because I couldn't make it that far. But second of all, I wanted my hat.
I'm from Pittsburgh. Mario did that probably every couple nights. No, not couple, but yeah, Mario did that a lot of times.
Yeah.
What's the? I think he scored how many goals in one game? What was the?
He scored 5 goals in one game.
Every
way,
style.
every way possible.
Yes.
Yep. Mario
On his
Lemieux.
left side, on his right side, on his head.
Between his legs.
Even strength, shorthanded.
He did that a
power
lot.
play.
He did between the legs a lot.
Downshifting. Yep.
He did that. Yeah. He's the reason why I watch hockey.
Yeah. Yep.
The only hockey jersey that I want is Mario Lemieux.
Hey, good job today, fellas. We addressed them all.
Wow.
Next week we come back.
You say undress them all?
We addressed
address them.
Hey.
them all. We're back next Tuesday night at 7:05, everybody. Who knows where we'll be talking next Tuesday? We might be talking UFL. Who knows? I will tell you that we are live at Vanish Il Forno out on Route 40 in Frederick on Saturday, March 2nd at 1 p.m. We're encouraging you to come out and hang out with us. Have some pizza, drink some of their beverages from Vanish. It's a great time. It'll be a great show. You can harass us while we're doing our thing. We'd love to have you there, though. Get some friends, get the family. Come on out and join us, though. That's March 2nd at 1 o'clock at Il Forno Vanish on Route 40 in Frederick. Hey, some stuff right here. Michael Chops Mills at the Real Big Chops. Terry T. Sizzle Young. You can find him on Instagram and Twitter. One Young Terry. Coach Noobs. Michael Coach Noobizer Noobs. Instagram and Twitter at Coach Noob. And Rasheen the Real Deal Hill. You can find him anywhere.
Hold up.
You can find him anywhere.
What's my good side?
You don't have one.
Turn around.
Shit. You can find Rasheen on Facebook and Instagram. Contact us here on the Original Sports Podcast. Start out by checking out our pod page, podpage.com, Original Sports Podcast with Mark Maradei. We've redone the whole damn thing. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can see us on Snapchat and TikTok. And don't forget to watch every show and the new clips we're putting out on YouTube and other places. So thanks for joining us tonight. Feel free to let us know if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions by emailing us at originalsportspodcast@gmail.com. Shout out to Sean Ankoviak for doing our voice intro, Charlie Hodgson for doing the music, and join us next week to experience the O on the Original Sports Podcast. Peace.